It always seems strange to me to go to the track and see a brand new rider with his $25,000 Panigale Ducati going as slow as I didn't even know bikes could go that slow. Hey guys, I'm Sean from Srkcycles. Let me tell you a story about my free track bike. In 2010, me and a couple buddies of mine that I was working with, we all decided that we were going to get into track days. And it made sense to us that the cheapest way to do it would be if we all had the same type of bike. We chose a great bike. It's still a good bike. A 2006, 2007 GSXR 600 750 platform. Basically the same bike. Most parts are interchangeable. If you want to throw in a 750 engine in your 650 frame, it doesn't make a difference. Everything was pretty much the same, different bore with different bore and stroke, a few different sensors, and then the speedometer was slightly different. Other than that, same bike. The reason we all thought we'd all do the same bike was so that you can only, if we had one parts bike, we go to the track, someone wrecks, we only need one parts bike to put that guy back together. Let's say I have an extra part that he doesn't have, bam, let him borrow it. It made a lot of sense to us. That worked out pretty good. We did a couple track days. We did Barber, we did Road Atlanta, New Jersey Motorsports Park, and Carolina Speedway. It was a lot of fun, but then of course, like your gym partners and like your track day partners, the whole band breaks up and it just doesn't work out anymore. But how I got the bike is a pretty interesting story. So what my buddies did was most of them bought track bikes. They were already track bikes, pretty beat up, but they had a lot of good track goodies. If you go to a lot of websites, wear.com, you'll find people just selling their full-blown track bike with tons of extra parts, and that's what those guys did. And you can get a lot of good deals on it, but it was not as good as the deal I got. So what I did was I found a wrecked bike. I found a wrecked red 2007 GSXR, it may have started as 2006, GSXR 600. It is that bike. It ended up being that bike. And it had a bent rim and had a lot of messed up fairings, but a lot of good parts. Now, a lot of times when people wreck their motorcycles, they just won't claim them to the insurance company because they didn't have liability, so they'll just wreck the bike, whatever. They don't claim it. They just sell it wrecked. So it had a clean title. I've torn down enough bikes. I knew that the frame was clean. So I bought the bike. I took all the bad parts off of it. If they were just, the bent rim and stuff like that, just threw them away. And then all the good parts I sold or traded for scratch parts. So if I had let's say I had a good headlight. A headlight on that bike is worth about $300. Sold that on the internet. If I had a good left side body fairing, let's say it wrecked on the right side, sell the left side body fairing, sell the left side tailpiece. I sold every piece I possibly could to recoup some of my costs. I bought the wrecked bike for $1,800. So I'm selling all these pieces that I can to recoup the cost. Most of the pieces that I sold, with the money I got, I used to put the bike together. So if I had a busted rim, I sold the headlight. I used the headlight money to replace that rim. Now the big thing that really made this bike a free bike was I took the whole thing apart, extracted the frame from the bike, dropped the engine, pulled the body off, pulled the frame out of the bike. A clean title frame, I had a title for it. A clean title frame for that bike at that time was worth around $2,200. Paid $18 for the bike, switched a bunch of parts, sold the clean title frame for $2,200. Found a salvage title frame on eBay for $300. I did the swap in a weekend. Basically, that gave me a free bike. I also made sure that every single component on that bike had a scratch or a flaw on it. The swing arm, I swapped the swing arm out. The swing arm's got a scratch on it. I got the exhaust has a scratch on it. No one wants, or there's pretty much no value in a $800 Scorpion exhaust that's got a big scratch right on the side. All these things, it's going to be a track bike. It always seems strange to me to go to the track and see a brand new rider with his $25,000 Panigale Ducati going as slow as I didn't even know bikes could go that slow with this brand new bike. If you're doing track days, if you're riding, you're gonna wreck it. Why not put it together as cheap as you possibly can and just have a lot of fun? Most track days were cool with you not having a title or proof of ownership. you would just tell them that it was a track-only bike. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you guys later. Remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going.